Hello and welcome to another episode of From the Helm here on day 2 of the Resources Rising Stars Conference on the Gold Coast. I'm Grady Wolf, Market Analyst with Bell Direct, and I'm thrilled to be joined by Ausgold Executive Chairman John Dorwood. John, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you, Grady.
An exciting time for you. You've recently joined the Ausgold team. Tell us about what attracted you to the company and the Katanning Gold project.
Absolutely. I joined the company about 3 months ago. Came in, really I was attracted, I guess, to the combination of the fact that there's a really good base case in terms of what's on the ground or what's at the project today. 3 million ounces, so it's got a bit of heft. I think that really underwrites what will be a very attractive development opportunity. And then I think the wildcard little X factor is really the very large land position that the company has in and around the Katanning Gold project. So that's a little bit of, I think, secret sauce that could potentially be a real game changer.
That's definitely what we saw the other week when we had our interview with Matt Greentree. Our investors can see that on our platform. Now, in terms of resource and project scale, how does the Katanning Gold project compare to others in the mid-tier emerging gold area?
Look, I think it's a great question. I think it compares very well. It's certainly one of the largest of the quality development projects around at the moment, with a 3 million ounce resource. A reserve that's going to grow from the most recent studies. I think you're looking at a project that does have some real size and scale and should be attractive to a wide audience.
And now you recently started a major drilling campaign of 18,000 metres at the Katanning Gold project. What were the objectives of this and what are you hoping to achieve from the outcomes? Yeah,
so we just announced that plan. We actually increased it to 19,000 metres. We managed to squeeze a few more dollars out of our new CFO. So we're really hopeful that will deliver. So that's got a variety of aims. The first and foremost is an infill program in and around the existing resource and the areas that we plan to mine in the first 18 to 24 months. That's really to de-risk that, to sort of when we come to finance it, go to see friendly banks, we can sort of point to a really sort of tightly drilled sort of area. The second is to add ounces at Katanning, and we have what's called the Lucan prospect, which is to the south, and we think that's wide open for adding resources. Third is to look for Katanning Gold project lookalikes, and we have the Grasmere project, which is about 4 kilometres to the southeast of Katanning, and we really think that's a potential for a very large target. And then the last one is satellite regional targets, sort of within tracking distance, and with a focus on high grade, because what we'd really like to be able to do is add some high grade material in the sort of years 4, 5 and beyond, to really sweeten up the grade.
Now, investors like to hear about the status of definitive feasibility studies. Where are you at with this and how has the scope of the project changed over recent times?
Sure, so we've taken some really positive steps in getting that completed. We've now moved the due date to that to around Q2 2025, so expect to see that by mid-year next year. We just appointed within the last few weeks a study director to really take control of that and drive that forward. He's a very experienced study director based in Perth. So I think we've really got that process on track and looking forward to driving it across the line middle of next year.
Now, final investment decision, everyone wants to know when that is coming. When do you hope that to be done and when do you hope to be in production?
Sure, so we've got a to-do list. Our most recent presentation sort of really sets out what we're looking to do, and that's what we want to be judged by. So we've sort of said we're going to complete the definitive feasibility study by the middle of next year. We're going to start, lodge our permit application either by the end of this year or very, very early in 2025, and we anticipate that to be a 12-month process, and then really finalise our land access. We just made a large acquisition. We bought some farming land of over 1,000 hectares to site a lot of our infrastructure, so we're sort of tight, really closing in on our land access. So what we're seeing is really a final investment decision by the end of next year, and then probably an 18-month build beyond that. So it's coming down the pike quickly.
You've already got the open pit infrastructure there from, I think it was the 1990s it was last.
That's right, yeah.
It last operated, so seeing that was very interesting, but it kind of gives you a kickstart to get production back underway.
Yeah.
And finally, for our investors who may not be aware of the investment opportunity in the gold space, why should they consider Ausgold?
Look, I think there's a variety of levers for us to add value. The first is to de-risk the project, so you can get that classic sort of development project re-rate as we de-risk and grow the project, and I think that's very real, and that's just based on that the value I think is appealing. And then I think the second one is really the sort of the X factor of that really large exploration program. I mean, we are not going to be just a solely development focused company. We're going to keep drilling, and so we'll have a lot of news flow over the next 6 months. So I think it's an interesting story. You've got a base case underwritten by the project. and potentially a ton of blue sky down the track.
And a fantastic management team with lots of experience. John Dorwood, thank you for joining me today from the helm.
Thanks,
I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you did, why not subscribe to our YouTube channels?